class, welcome to another day of math. We are starting Unit 6, Lesson 1. Now in the instructions that were on Google Classroom, I asked you to first cut out the dollar bills before we began the lesson. They are the ones that have pennies on the back of each of the dollar bills. If you have not done that yet, what I would do is quickly turn off the video because I know a lot of you can't cut out quite as fast as I can, and I wanted to show you the paper before we got started. Now all of your math papers, the new ones for this week and a few weeks after, were in that packet of things that you were supposed to pick up at Eastlake. You only have through Tuesday, March 31st until 1 o'clock to go and pick up that new packet of things, and then you're not going to be able to come in anymore. They said too many people are coming into school and not following the social distancing for the office staff like they need. So if I need you to pick up things again, I will let your parents know, and I might just be out in the parking lot and you can just come by and pick it up out of a box and wave to me in the car. So we may have to do something like that because I have things ready to go for the next 4 weeks or so, but I just will need to get things to you. Now, so if you are ready, you will have your nice little stack of dollar bills. We have done this before several times during the year. Now, I want you to think what we've talked about. How many pennies are in $1? Well, if you can't remember, the good way to look is turn it around. And each of those are in groups of 5 and also groups of 10. So we know that there are 100 pennies in a dollar bill, correct? Now, you may notice also, like I said, about the collections. Let me go in a little bit closer so you can see this. So these are counting by 5 right there. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so on. Or we can just count them by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on. The groups of 10, like that. Now, I want you to take your dollar bills and put them on a stack, in this stack like this somewhere. I don't know if you're at the table or at a desk, but just put them there. And then we are, is everyone ready? Okay, so we have them close by. Now we are going to count our dollar bills, and we are going to count them not by pennies, but by dollars. Okay, so $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, and $10. So we have counted our whole stack of dollar bills. So how many $1 bills are in our stack that we have right now, just like I have in my hand? So I want you to think for a minute before I talk more about it. Okay. So I'll ask the question one more time. How many $1 bills are in your stack? Your answer should have been 10 $1 bills. Okay? So just remember also that in each dollar you have 100 pennies or 100 cents. Okay? So we know that. And since there are 100 pennies on the back of each dollar, we can count the number of pennies in $10 by counting by 100s. So let's look back at our stack of our dollar bills. Okay? Now instead of the dollar bill side, we are going to have our stack showing the pennies. Okay? Now we're going to count this same stack again by counting by 100s. Ready? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and the last one will give us 1,000s, right? 10 groups of 100 is called 1,000, right? Let me show this to you on our board. Same thing that we just did. So 1,000, that's how you write it out in letters. That is how it looks with numbers. And it's the same as 10 groups of 100s. Let's count them again together. Ready? 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 1,000. So we have counted all of those. So the main thing that I want you to remember right now is that the value of a $1 bill is the same. Whoops, there went one of my dollar bills. That the value of a $1 bill is the same as 100 pennies or 100 cents. Remember, we refer to it both ways, right? And then if I took my whole stack of my $1 bills and I said, how many cents are in my $10? You would say, I'm gonna give you a few seconds. I wish I could hear you and you could shout it out to me. How many cents would that be? It would be 1,000 cents. Sounds like a lot of money, doesn't it? So, okay, now I need you to put your dollar bills, penny side up, back into a stack, okay? And put them over to the side. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how we represent showing this with our proof drawings. So, what do we use if we want to show that we have just one? Do you remember? If we just want to show that we have one of something, I want you to think of the picture that you draw. If you have a piece of paper there or your own little whiteboard, follow along with me. That's always a good idea. You know that you would be using a circle, right? Usually when we're doing these, your circles aren't this big, but for our lesson right now, I am showing you that. Okay, so what do we show if we want to show a group of 10? Think back to our proof drawings that we have used before. I think you all remember that you draw a stick, right? And then what do we show if we want to show on a proof drawing that we have 100? There is a special way that I taught you this earlier. Let me show you how that works. So you would do this in groups of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you would have 10 sticks, just like this, okay? You would have your 10 sticks, just like this, because one stick shows 10, but if we wanted to show 100, that we would show 10 sticks. But there's an even easier way. Do you remember what we do to those 10 sticks? We draw something around the sticks. Do you remember? It is a box. We draw a box around the sticks so that they look like a dollar bill. So this box here means 100. So 1 would be a circle. Group of 10 is our 1 stick. 10 groups of 10, which makes 100, we put the box around. Okay, we have been doing those for a while, and we know that, don't we? Now, we are going to do something else now. We are going to talk a little bit about how we are going to model numbers using these things as our proof drawings. So I'm going to erase mine. Like I said, if you have an erase board, a whiteboard, you can erase yours. If not, then you can just keep it there on your paper. Okay, so here's what we're going to do first. I want you to, on your paper, we are going to show this number. So write 183 on the top of your paper or somewhere on your paper, and then you are going to show me what this would look like with a proof drawing. So I want you to think what we just talked about, how we show ones, how we show tens, and how we show hundreds with our proof drawings. So I want you to think for a minute. I'm going to put mine down and draw it on my board, and then I'll show you what I have, and we'll talk about this together. So write the number for the boxes, sticks, and circles near that number. Remember when we do our sticks for our groups of 10, this is not like when we do telling marks when we're doing a survey. So we don't do 5 goes down a slide when we do it this time. But we do write those in groups of 5. So don't forget to do that. Okay, are you ready? This is what yours should have looked like, just like mine. So we have the hundreds box to show 100 in the 100s place. Then we go to the tens place, and I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 8 sticks to show the 8 groups of 10. And then we go over here to our ones place where we need 3. 1, 2, 3. So that is what you should have had on your board, just like Ms. Staley did. Same thing. Okay, we're going to do another one. So if you have a board, you can go ahead and erase that. If not, just use another part of your paper. The number this time that we are writing, oh, this one's a little bit higher of a number, bigger number. This time we are using the number 427. Remember, hundreds place, tens place, ones place. In fact, I'm going to write the letters up there like we have done before to remind you that H is for the hundreds place, the T is for the tens place, and the O is for the ones place. So this is the hundreds place, the tens place, and the ones place. Okay, I'll give you a minute to go ahead and draw your boxes, your sticks, and your circles, and then we'll look and see how you did. I will do mine while you're doing yours. They don't have to be perfect. Remember what we've talked about in class before. You don't have to draw them to make them absolutely perfect. Okay, I'll give you just another minute because I know sometimes it might take some of us a little bit longer, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, having you take a little bit extra time to do your hundreds boxes, your 10 sticks, and your circles. Okay. If you're not quite done yet, you might want to turn off the video. Just stop it for a second and hurry and get done, but we're going to go on now. So that is showing you what yours should look like also. So we had 400s, 100, 200, 300, 400. And then in the tens place, we had two groups of 10, 10, 20, and then we had 7 single ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that proof drawing shows 427. Okay, very nice. A lot of you are going, I know how to do this already, Ms. Staley. And I'm going, yeah, of course you do, but it's always good to have a review before we get going. Start with the easy things, review what we have learned before to remind us what we had learned. Because remember, we took a break there to do our unit on graphing. Okay, the next thing that we are going to be doing that I need you to do, I'm going to put my lid on my marker nice and tight. So we are going to be doing this page. It is on page 311. It says Unit 6, Lesson 1, represent 3-digit numbers. Okay, so we are going to do this page together. So let's look at the first two. So what I would like you to do is write the number that is represented by the boxes, the sticks, and the circles that you see right there. It shouldn't be that hard. Just remember, boxes show hundreds, sticks show the tens, and the circles show the ones. Shall we do the first one together? So, if we know that there's just one box, that means there's only 100, right? So I would write that down. Oh, guess what Ms. Staley forgot to do and that you should probably be doing. I do not want you to forget the first thing that we always do when we do a paper. What is it that we always do? Write our name, right? Is anybody reminding you that at home? Put your name on your paper. If not, you better remind your mom and dad. Say, this is what Ms. Staley always tells us to do. Okay, so we did that. And then let's just count these together. 10, 20, 30. So how many groups of 10? Would you put down a 30 there? No, you would only put down that there are 3 groups of 10. So you don't write a 30 there, you only put down a 3. Okay, now we're going to count how many single ones. 1, 2, 3. So our final answer on number 1 is 133. Did everyone get that one correct? Okay, let's do this next one. So I'm not going to work this one through with you, but we will talk about the answer when you're done. All I'm going to remind you is first look at how many groups of 100. Remember, you're counting how many groups. You're not writing it out in expanded form, okay? And then you're going to write that down first. Then you're going to count how many groups of 10 you have and write that down next. And then how many single ones. Okay, I will give you a minute to do that. While you're doing yours, I will do mine. Like I said, I know you're thinking, oh, this is so easy, Ms. Staley. And I'd say, yeah, you're right. This is stuff that we know, but it's just going on to a little bit harder things in a few days, possibly even after we get back from our spring break, because next week is spring break. So you will get a little bit of a chance just to do some fun things, and then we'll be right back here doing online school. Okay, you should have done this. One group of 100, 100. And I know with these all together in a group of 5 that there's already 5 groups, 6 groups, 7 groups. 7 groups of 10, that's where I put my 7. And then I had 5 here and 3 more, which would be 8. So your answer should have been 178. Now, our challenge is a little bit different now. We have 2 numbers here. The first number is 164. The second one is 120. First, you're going to draw your boxes, your sticks, and your circles for the number 164. Then you're going to draw your boxes, your sticks, and your circles for 120. Let's do number 3 first. You already have the number. Now you have to do the proof drawing. Okay, you should be done drawing 164. Hopefully you have. That shouldn't be too hard. So here was your answer for number 3. We have one group of 100, 6, which shows 6 groups of 10. There's 5, 6, and then 4 single ones. Very good. Now I need you to think carefully on this next one. It is 120. Do it the same way that we have done before. Figure out how many boxes, how many groups of 100, how many groups of 10, and how many single ones. Go. I'm not going to give you as long on this one because this one is a little bit easier, but could be tricky. Are you ready? Here we go. Ta-da! Okay, so it was just one group of 100 and 2 groups of 10. And we know that 0 means nothing. So there were no circles to draw this time because it was 0. Okay, that is what we're done with the front page already. All right, that is awesome. Now we are going to look at the back. On the back of the paper, your numbers are going to be a little bit bigger this time, and I think you can tell why. The number is going to be bigger because I can see, as well as you can see, that we have more than one box. So we have more than one group of 100. Let's do this one together. So we are going to start by counting how many boxes there are. And we know that each box is showing 100. Now, just to help you remember, I am going to put 100 and 100 on each of those. Kind of also think back to your dollar bills. Remember 100 cents? So if we know that this is 100, 200, so there's 2 groups of 100. So put your 2 down. Hopefully this will help you when you do this bigger one and also this bigger one. Now we need to count our groups of 10. How many groups of 10? We have 4 groups of 10. So that's what it looks like when we have 4 groups of 10. And then we can see that we have how many single ones? 1, 2, 3, 4. So your final answer would be 244. Now, these last 2, I'm going to let you figure out on your own and then go show either mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, whoever's there at home with you, or an older brother and sister, and they're going to tell you whether or not you did it correctly. If you want to shut off the video for a minute, because we have a little bit more that we're going to talk about before our math is done today. So if you want to shut it off, finish this page, go show someone else, make sure you've done them correctly, and then come back to the video. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've done what you needed to do. We are going to be counting by ones from a number that begins with 100 to a number that will begin with 200. So let me show you what that means exactly. So if I have, let's say, 190, so it would look like this. I'm going to have my 100 box to show that, and then I need to draw 9 10 sticks. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that, okay, just fixing it just a little bit, making sure I have enough room to do what I want to do on the other side. Okay, so that shows 190. Now, here is what I'm going to do now. I am going to draw some circles to get me up to 200. Okay, so if I draw some circles, how many circles will I need to draw? If I'm at 190 and I want to get all the way up to 200, then the first one that I draw would be 191. The next one would be 192. So that is what it's going to look like. So then you write 193. So keep doing that all the way until you get up to 200. 193, 194, 195, 196, 197, 198, 199, and then 200. When you are done, it should look like this. So you have a circle for each number that will get you from 190 to 200. Make sure that you draw and label one circle at a time, just like Ms. Staley did. Now we have 100 box, 9 10 sticks, and 10 ones. And those are shown by our circles. Now what I'd like you to do is draw a line through the 10 circles to show that there are 10 ones that have been made into a new 10. So we've also done something like this before. So you just draw your line through your 10 circles. It will look just like this. Now I want you to look at that and think, what have I just done? What do I need to draw now? I bet some of you know the answer. Do I now have just 100 box and sticks? No way. I am now going to draw a very big box because now I have 10 sticks. Look at that. I have now made 10 sticks. So now instead of 190, now I have 100, 200. And that is what I have now. I'm going to cross off the 190 and I'm going to write my 200 by there because now I have 200. Isn't that awesome? I love doing stuff like this. Now, if you want to continue doing this all the way up to the next 100, then you would start by doing this. You draw your circle, and what comes after 200 if you're counting by ones? That's right. We're doing 200s now, so that would be 201, 202, 203, 204, 205. Let me show you what you're doing. You're just doing another one of these. But now, instead, here, let me show you something too that's kind of interesting. So if we covered up the 200 and the 0 part, it's just like if we started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 again. But this time we have a 2 in front, just like when we went from 2 digits and then counting with 100s. Now we're starting to count with 200s. So continue with that. 206, 207, 208, 209, 210. So once you have that, guess what? 10 circles means that you can draw a line through them, and now you have another 10 stick. You could go on and on and on. I'm about out of room here, but if I wanted to go on, then I could go on and do a circle, and 211, 212, I think I've got enough room, 213, 214. Let me show you what it's looking like. Remember, just same thing, just continuing it on. 215. And it's just like I'm counting from 1 to 100, except the 2's in front. 216, 217, 218, 219, 220. Look, see, this is what you're doing. You're just going on and on. I have made another 10 stick, so I'm going to show that by drawing that line through my circles, because I have a 10 stick now. Now, if you would like to, and I'm really hoping that you do, I would like you to go on your piece of paper or your whiteboard and go all the way to 300. Might be hard, but I'm challenging you. Remember, you can do great things. You can do this. I know you can. Just remember to count the normal way from 1 to 100, but this time we're adding the 2 in front. Thanks for being at our math lesson today, and we'll see you tomorrow for math. Bye.